of my practice, and it introduced a different way of treating that got rid of all my chronic pain. Plus, I had 10,000 times more meaning in my practice than what I had before. So I started devoting all my practice hours to people going through mainly breast cancer surgery, but also trans top surgery and elective breast surgeries. And now I train people how to work with this demographic so other massage therapists are also confident in doing breast and chest surgery treatments. And then I got a chance to hook up with these fine gals, of which I will let them introduce themselves. So Lisa, go ahead. You're next to me on the screen.
Sure. Thank you, Erin. So my name is Lisa Casenti, and I am a single mama. I am also a special educator, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer when my daughter was just 9 months old. So that's one of the perspectives that I bring in this group is being able to navigate going through cancer when you're a parent. That definitely impacts parenting in such a big way. And along my journey, I was looking for tools that would help me to restore my health. And I found a few things that not only helped me in my own personal journey, but actually gave me my dad back. And now I educate people about that. That's at my core. I'm an educator through and through. So that's my story. And being part of this group it has been something that is so unique because we all believe that our stories are super powerful. It's what brings us together and it's what helps us to heal. So thank you for letting me share, and I will pass it along. I will pass the mic along to Dina.
And I forgot to press record, so I'm just going to do that right now. So you'll have something pop up recording. Okay, go ahead, Dina.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dina Legland. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and this October will be 7 years since I was diagnosed, along with October being my birthday as well. And also this October, actually, I'm going to be in Italy for my birthday. So I am a retired nurse and a certified health and life coach. And I decided that I realized, truly realized during this journey that my cancer saved my life and my other fears almost killed me, because the fears are so paralyzing, and it really stopped me in my tracks. And it was fears that were there since childhood. And my breast cancer journey made me realize that I needed to let them go. So between my personal story and my professional experience, I formed Wellness Warriors for Life to help women in remission conquer those uncontrollable fears so that they could live a life filled with joy, inner peace, inner wellness, and not feel guilty about it. And I discovered that through a 4-stage process to letting go of those fears. And I met all of these beautiful women through one person, I believe it was. It was Melissa Dealey, how we all connected. Melissa and I went through the same school for our certifications for health and life coaching. And she introduced me to Erin and Anne and then Lisa. And we just started talking one day. And here we are as the Breast Connection. So that's a little bit about me. And Anne, go for it.
Thank you, Dina. I'm Anne Crook. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, good old Music City, USA. And my business is Integrated Radiance. I've been serving women in midlife who are struggling with chronic health issues and feel exhausted and stuck to reclaim their health and go out and transform their life. And it was just amazing how the 4 of us ladies came together to join the Breast Connection almost 2 years ago through Melissa, who's actually coming to Nashville to visit me from Whistler, Canada in 2 weeks. So that will be awesome. Currently, I'm shifting focus with my private clients, and I'm designing a group program for cancer survivors called Fully Thriving After Cancer. and women in midlife. And I'm designing this program with another cancer survivor, Haley Dubin, who had stage 3 ovarian cancer 25 years ago. So really kind of honing in on women in midlife who've had some kind of cancer diagnosis, because, you know, conventional medicine gives you a treatment plan, but not much of a healing plan. So what I'm passionate about is lifting people up right after they get those scary words and really give them a healing plan so you can feel confident moving forward and see it as an opportunity to really just go out and reclaim your health and transform your life. So it's been a joy to be with the other 3 ladies, and we just love having these events. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, so amazing. So we've got a wealth of wisdom that's coming your way. And I just want to take a moment to introduce Kathy Washburn, who is truly one of the world's delightfulest people. I think I just made that word up, but it works. And she's got this great talk today called Investment in Your Emotional Body, the science of type C behavioral patterns, learning the biology of our emotions, and experiencing the benefits that are a result of investing in emotional health. So a little bit about her. Kathy is a life coach who works with individuals navigating life's most challenging transitions. Her education and interest in positive psychology, post-traumatic growth, and narrative therapy combine to form her unique approach to personal and professional coaching. At age 36, Kathy experienced advanced stage cancer. Her current passion is to help fill the gap in patient needs during the transition from treatment to life after cancer, and has founded Carved by Cancer, a network support for cancer survivors as they continue their healing journey into emotional and physiological healing. And she has recently launched a podcast called Investment of Self, Type C Transformation, which was inspired by her own understanding of that investing in our emotional health as a prudent investment. So I'll let her talk a little bit more about herself. And just to say, her podcast can be found on Apple Podcasts and a bunch of other ones, which it's really worth tuning into. She's got some good people, including me. I'm not tuning my own horn though. Kathy really is wonderful, and I'm really excited for you to get to hear her speak. So go ahead, Kathy.
Thank you. It is so nice to be here. And I hear the knowledge and the breadth of information just sitting in this room. And I can only imagine with those who have not introduced themselves, the stories that come here. I'm here to share a concept with you that I only learned about recently, but made so much sense to me. And it kind of put the puzzle pieces together. And that is called type C. And I don't know if you've heard that. You've probably heard of type A and type B personality types. Type C was actually introduced at the same time. It was back in 1970s. The lead researcher on this, Lydia Temashak, did her research based on the 2 gentlemen that did the research about type A and type B personalities. And type A, we all know, and maybe we can attribute to a type A personality, but the way that personality works, it makes them prone to cardiac issues. So highly stressed, a little, does not expresses their emotions, but does so in a very abrupt manner. Type B is the person we all want to be, the one that knows how to emote healthily. And then there's type C. And Lydia's work, when she used the same questions they used for type A and type B, and she got the complete opposite answers that they got in the type A research. By that, I mean, people were just unemotive or not, she calls it emotionally flat, not expressing any anger, being, she had one person say, oh, well, they were probably mean to me because they were having a bad day. You know, just really unable to grasp onto their emotions. So she dove way deeper into this. She has a beautiful book called Type C, the Type C Connection, because she has put together the research that shows that it is an element that people can be prone to cancer, that act in these type C behaviors. So I'm just going to share my screen for a second. I think I can do that. Can I do that? Yes. And I want you just to look at the, here we go. Can you make me a co-host?
Yeah, I thought I just did. So let me just try again because it should have gone through.
Clicked on the wrong button. I keep saying I don't need readers, but that's a big fat lie. So I'm going to just have you look at these and no judgment. This is really just kind of a, if it is for you, just an aha moment. I just want you to, from a place of curiosity, look at the characteristics and the behaviors and just notice if any of them feel familiar or resonate in any way. Has everybody had a chance to look at that? So when I first bumped up against this, it made perfect sense to me. When I was diagnosed with stage 4 vulvar cancer, I was probably in the best shape of my entire life. I was in the 11th month of a yoga teacher training program, and I just was kind of in awe. Like, how could that happen? This physical body is so healthy. How could this possibly happen? And my doctor, his response was, you are, besides cancer, you are a very healthy woman. That just made no sense to me. So when I saw those characteristics and I dug deeper into this, one of the things that Lydia said is that type C answers, there was no anger, no frustration. Instead, there was a devotion to others and a need of acceptance. Their answers, she said, seemed out of touch with their own primary needs and emotions. And that just busted a door open for me. So that's the door that we're going to walk in, because I think we can all agree, if you're dealing with cancer, if you've survived cancer, if you're living with cancer, our body is such a hyper focus. And often we're being told, change your habit, your health, start eating better, exercising. There's all of these things. Nobody ever says, how's your emotions? And even they'll refer to mental health, which is a very big umbrella, and emotions are part of it. But the cancer centers that promote mental well-being, there's still, it's like emotions are a third rail. And they affect everything we do, literally everything. So becoming more emotionally aware and beginning to invest in our own emotions is like a superpower, especially for those of us who have type C tendencies. With a type C tendency, you got to work a little harder at it, and it might not come naturally. There's this other piece of it that we're often raised not to feel. And our culture promotes avoiding or numbing through drugs, alcohol, social media, distraction. So it's a little bit of going against the tide, but I promise you it is worth the work. So I think of emotions as a physiological immune system. And this aligns with Lydia Tomaszak's work, because suppressed emotions actually causes immune issues, because it causes inflammation. So the first thing I just want to note is they also have so much data to tell us. And that is a part that is often skipped. The purpose of negative emotions are to keep us safe. and tell us that something personal and meaningful is out of alignment. For example, guilt. Guilt is a signal that is saying, hey, wait a minute, you have violated your ethics. A little course correction might be in store or warranted here. Anger might be telling us that something is threatening or violating something. And disgust tells us that there is something toxic out there. Think of it, if we didn't have disgust, how much stuff you would have consumed as a child. You know, that disgust is that first instinct of, I don't want this in my body. Physical emotions also have, emotions also have physical data. And a lot of times we numb ourselves from it. I was on a panel recently for a big university of medical system. I was on a panel for sexual health. And unfortunately, the topic of the whole thing was the unspoken topics in cancer survivorship. I was like, can we just call it sexual health? Can we just say sex after cancer? It's an issue. We don't have to say it's unspoken. But there was a woman on the panel with me, and she was actually telling women, if you're a little nervous in the bedroom, have a couple of glasses of wine. And I think you could see my face like, no, we are not numbing feelings. That is not the objective here. But I couldn't do anything about it. I don't think I had to. I think my face said it all. But it's just frustrating. We are not, our body is telling us if we're in touch with them, if we're in touch with our feelings. And there's lots of different ways that I work with clients to get in touch with their feelings. But it's really important to start kind of sensing in. The other thing that I learned about emotions that was quite shocking, and this is the work of Jill Bolte-Taylor, the physiological effects of our emotions, 90 seconds. That means the chemicals that go through our body, the heart, the racing heart, the sweaty palms, if left to its own devices, they will flush through our system for 90 seconds unless we choose consciously or subconsciously to stay in that emotion. So if you think of a moment you were angry and we weren't able to express that anger in a healthy way, and we kept that anger inside, the physiological effect of anger is a racing heart, short breathing. You know, you're breathing up here, you're not fully breathing. All of those things stay. So your whole body thinks, I'm still in trouble. I'm still angry. You're keeping that system going. So the 90-second rule has literally changed my life. When I get really angry, or if I find myself caught up in a moment, I'll set my cell phone for 90 seconds, let myself feel the feeling. And when the 90 seconds goes off, I'll set it for 90 seconds again and just notice what's good and right in that moment. And that might just, the only thing I can get to is my fingers are moving, my lungs are inflating, my eyes blink open and close, this chair is supporting me, I'm not floating. And then when that 90 seconds goes off, I am now at choice. I can choose to go back to the reality that is, or I can stay a little more calm. Either way, I'm now at choice. The emotion is not driving me. I'm driving the emotion. So 90 seconds is one of the most important things I've learned about emotions, to try to get them moving. The next step is to be able to express them. But before we get there, is this another phenomenon is called the negativity bias. Maybe you've heard of that. We were all born with it. It was very useful for our ancestors to keep us all alive, to hyper focus on the negative and let the positive just kind of roll off our back. We, Dr. Rick Hansen calls this now our paper tiger paranoia, because we don't have tigers lurking around the corners, but in our minds we do. So it's really, really important that we notice, we just become aware of this bias, that we are going to pay a lot more attention to negative and let the positives just roll away. Which brings me to the third really powerful piece, and that is positive emotions. They actually also play a role in keeping us alive, but a very different role. And they're way more useful than just making us feel good. They actually build inner resources. So if you think of, and this is the work of Barbara Fredrickson, if you think of the emotion of interest, something brought you here, you're interested about this topic. If you stay in the positive emotion of interest, it's expanding your mind, you're learning, you're growing intellectual knowledge. Here you are, you're expanding your social resources, inner resources. When we can intentionally and with attention focus on positive emotions, we're opening our mind versus that negative, which keeps it closed. Everything gets a little tight, even our vision gets smaller. When in a positive state, we're open to more options, we're open to more ideas, and we're actually growing our own inner strengths. So it's that counter to the negativity bias. So those three things, the 90-second rule, the negativity bias, and then positive emotions, if you leave with nothing else, if one of those things stick, you're going to be in a better emotional state. It's just awareness is the biggest, I call it a broken opening. It's the biggest opening that we can bring. Rick Hansen does a lot of work. His work is called positive neuroplasticity. And by that, it's changing your brain using the good. So it's taking that 90 seconds and using it to your advantage, really letting yourself just sense drench in a positive moment. And that could be as simple as taking that first drink of water in the morning, like really feeling the water go down your throat, imagining it like waking up all of your cells, just 90 seconds using all of your senses. That lays new tracks for a new neural pathway. So you can imagine if you're doing this as a type C, one of the things that I've done my whole life is just take whatever's given me. You know, I order something at a restaurant, they give me the wrong meal. I'm like, oh, I'm good. It's fine. It's fine. No, I'll eat it. I'll eat it. So the first practice was actually to do it at a restaurant, to ask for what I needed. And even I was advised to order the wrong thing and then decide, no, actually, I don't want a salad. I want that burger. And then send the salad back and ask for the burger, because at a restaurant, they have to give you what you're asking for. So you will get a positive response. And then sense drench in that, wow, I asked for what I needed and I got what I needed. And the world didn't stop spinning. Nothing, really sense drenched. So now I have this new neural pathway. So when I'm in a little more of a stickier relationship, let's say, like with your partner or your children, that you haven't had that habit of asking for what you need. So you get into that situation, your brain already has another path. It's not going to just go right there. It's going to say, no, there's another option, Kathy, go right. And so you try it in that environment. And most of the time, it's been my experience, you really do get what you need. It's just, you've just gotten in this habit of not asking for it. So that is one, that's kind of my spiel here. I want to open it up. I think we have some Q&A. Is that right, Erin?
Yeah.
I know a lot. I try to condense a lot of information, but those are kind of the high points.
Yeah, absolutely. And so many valuable things in there, Kathy. It's really, you're just chock-a-block full of good information. All right,
Mm.
Kathy, let's move into your embodiment practice.
Okay, this is one of my favorite meditators. Her name is Sarah Blondin. Don't know if you've heard of her. You can find her on Insight Timer and Calm, but these are her words, and I think they just speak to this idea of feeling, like giving you permission to feel, and that's what I hope that you're getting from this. So if you would like to close your eyes or shut your screen off, whatever you need to do to feel a little more present. And just for a moment, just feel your breathing, that hum of energy in your body. And I'm going to invite you to trace your fingers gently over the palm of your open hand, just beginning to awaken your sense of feeling, the sense that is touch. And just see how it is bringing you closer to feeling your aliveness in this moment. Reminding yourself you are meant to inhabit all of your feelings, all of your knowing, all of your wisdom. Let it be lived. Welcome your breath and place your hand on your heart. And you can repeat these words in your mind or whisper, whatever feels right to you. Repeat the words, I see you. I feel you. I love you. With our hands on our heart, may we focus for a moment on what we often neglect, our feelings for who we are, love and compassion for self. You are not wrong for listening to your body's feelings and wisdom. We were simply not taught how to do it. You are malleable, not stone. You are sensitive. You hear and sense what is beyond seen. You sense what is said between others, even without words. You are a magnificently sensitive human. Let me remind you how deeply you are able to feel, and invite you to open to your feelings as your own inner guide. Give yourself permission to feel what asks to be felt. With your loving awareness, it will lift instead of lodge. You need not be so strong. It is in softening that you will find freedom. Under all the fear and numbness, avoidance, distress, despair, under each of these symptoms of disconnect is something so pure, something you have been protecting. This, dear one, is the seed of your sensitive self. You can reach this self with your own presence, with awareness. This is your seed. Try your best not to deny yourself this moment of intimacy. Be affectionate toward yourself. There is great healing to be had when you are able to feel your own ache. We are so often grateful for the gift of sight, grateful for the ability to hear, to taste, to touch. May we also be grateful for the sense of feeling. When you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes, allow the room to come to you. It's such a pleasure.
That was really beautiful. And sometimes that permission is what we need in order to be able to feel it and to give ourselves that sense of it's okay, I will allow this. And I really love that, those three phrases of I see you, I hear you, I love you. It's so
Mm.
powerful and such a centering thing to do when you're, you know, feeling like you're in a tumultuous situation, or you're getting triggered by something, you're getting pulled into something that, you know, maybe you can recognize is not the best for you, to be able to pull yourself back to yourself and say, I see you, I hear you, I love you. And, you know, think about how that's going to change your physiology. Think about the chemical cascades that are going to get released from your brain, and, you know, the balance of neurotransmitters that you're going to have in your body of that, as compared to, you know, being triggered, being angry, being, you know, not that there's anything wrong with anger, because there, you know, it's on the trajectory of being able to own your emotions and overcome trauma. Like anger is a valid stage and it's necessary, but you just don't want to get stuck there forever. So yeah, beautiful practices, Kathy. Thank you. Amazing. So yeah, in our last few minutes here, as Katie was mentioning, this is going to be our last gathering together. We are 4 extremely busy women, and we came together with a real mission of helping to create the conversation around healing, around breast cancer, around the things that you can do yourself to create a sense of autonomy and strength and empowerment and resilience. And so we formed the Breast Connection so that we would be able to, you know, create a community of people who are interested in moving their lives forward and harnessing their own capacity and in healing in community, because we really fundamentally believe that we heal and thrive together. However, life being what it is, all of us are, you know, being pulled in directions that make it a bit of a challenge to continue this Breast Connection community. So we've decided to hit the pause button for now. And in future, we may pick it up in a slightly different iteration. It is yet to be determined. But I wanted to give a little bit of space for each of us to give some reflections of the co-founders here on what it's been like for us to be a part of the Breast Connection, and to have all these amazing people showing up and sharing themselves with us as we do our monthly events. So, Anne, you're next to me on the screen. Let's hear your reflections.
Wow, that's a big one. First, I just want to say thank you to all of you being here for our grand finale tonight. This has been such a beautiful coming together of 4 women on a common mission to lift up humanity in a heartfelt way. Like Erin said, not just people who've gone through breast cancer. I forgot to mention that in my introduction. I had stage 1 breast cancer in 2018, and I also had stage 1B melanoma last year. So I've gone through 2 early stage cancer journeys. But as Erin was mentioned, this is not just for people who've gone through cancer. This is just to lift up people around the chest and the breast area, because it's so closely connected to the heart. And so it really is about coming back into deeper sense of self-love. And sometimes in my case, I know it took going through a major health scare, life-changing diagnosis to wake me up. Like, I've got to heal these unhealed emotions. And I've got to work on this inner child piece. And so it's just been a joy to, after doing my own healing work since 2018, to find Lisa, Dina, and Erin and bring this heartfelt mission to the public and offer these free Zoom events. And I want to thank Marian McCool, who's here tonight, because she actually introduced me to Erin back in 2021, I guess, 2020. Marian, you've been here almost every single event, so thank you for your consistent attendance. It's been wonderful. But I've just gotten pure joy from you know, co-founding the Breast Connection with these 3 ladies. So I will pass it on now to Dina.
Thank you, Anne. I am actually, I could speak, but I am lost for words right now. Because like I mentioned earlier, I did not go through a support group, a healing group. I just went on my merry way, working, taking care of the family, taking care of patients, you know, as I was going through all of this. And to find Lisa, Erin, and Anne and just start our own little group about just supporting each other, and how it blossomed into the Breast Connection, and how we don't need to be diagnosed. I love the fact that we brought in just breast health and how deep we go into our healing process. And to me, it's an ongoing healing process. And, you know, I'm faced right now with possibly another surgery after 5 surgeries already. This would be my 6th surgery. And the community has just uplifted me as a person as well, as a woman, as a leader, you know, and just, I'm just so grateful and thankful for everyone who has attended, all of our guest speakers, our open mic nights. We just had a lot of fun with as well, just talking and BSing about whatever you wanted. And I am just truly grateful and thankful. So, Lisa, it's your turn.
Oh boy, after that, I just it's hard to sum up everything that I'm feeling, that the 4 of us are feeling. It is really hard hitting the pause button and making this decision. It's been incredibly difficult. We are grateful for everyone who has come to our meetings, speakers, guests. I mean, Marion, you have been here almost every single time. We're grateful to Melissa Deely for connecting the 4 of us as well. And I feel so close to Dina, Erin, Anne. I always will. You'll always be my soul sisters, and what we've gone through this journey together, all at different stages, all have had different experiences. The sharing, the intimate sharing of ourselves within this community, it has been absolutely beautiful. I think one of the most amazing things that you can give to somebody else is your story, your genuine story. And I believe that if people can come together, hear your story, know that you've been there, you got through it, whatever it is, wherever you are, I feel that you can find your way. So we've brought people together to do that. It's meant so much. And it doesn't mean that the relationships that we've created will continue forever and always. It's just about finding a new direction and how we can figure this out with everything that's going on in our lives right now. So it's hard to speak, but I feel so much love for everybody here, and we cannot thank everyone enough for showing up, being here, and giving of yourselves. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Then the giving of yourselves is one of the most beautiful parts of this for me. Like the ladies, you know, the other co-founders, it's just been such a beautiful, heartfelt connection. Being able to hear from the people who show up and are willing to be vulnerable to share their story and what they're going through. It's really, we've had some seriously touching moments. And for the guest speakers who have been here to give their knowledge and their wisdom and to help uplift, it's just, the whole thing has been so beautiful. So I don't think that this is the end. It's just a pause. And we really thank you for being here with us, and especially on this last one, which is pretty special. So, you know, you can find our other things are on YouTube, and we email out some stuff. So you can find some of the previous wisdom keepers and wisdom sharers that have been with us. And until next time, thank you so much. We will say goodbye, and the co-founders and Kathy are going to stay on, and we will wish everyone else bon voyage and really good, heartfelt energy for yourselves going forward.
Thanks for attending tonight, everyone. We've loved having you.
Yeah.
I want
Thank
to
you.
say thank you to all 4 of you. This has been awesome and very uplifting. And I am so glad that I have met each and every one of you. It's just brings a tear to my eye. And I will be looking forward to you restarting again.
It's a pause.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Marion.
Marion.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good to
so
see you, Katie.